Hey guys, Sabrine back again. Want to come back and give you guys part 3 of my 5-part series about my trip to the beautiful country of Ecuador. Specifically on today, I wanted to talk about the educational system within Santo Domingo. So I want you guys to take the next few seconds, and if you just bear with me, I would like for you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine these things. Imagine your government denying you access to a quality education because of the color of your skin. Imagine you being a principal also have to be a classroom teacher because the government has taken away 2 of your teaching positions. Imagine not having the actual training to impart the education into your students, but you do all that you can so that you're able to better their lives so that they too can become contributing members to society. Imagine having to be the only high school along the coast of a river plain, the only high school within that area, so everyone actually has to commute to your local high school, yet you're not granted any quality resources and access to quality resources from the government. Imagine having to plan lessons without access to Google, access to your internet, access to an outside source, a library, maybe even textbooks from your former training when you were at your colleges and or university. Imagine not having any of those things and still wanting to provide the best and the most quality education to your students. Now you may open your eyes. Forgive me. Open your eyes, please. This is what was happening with the people of Santo Domingo de Once. Approximately 10 years ago, they had petitioned the government and wanted to build a school. And long story short, again, this is what I was told. The people were denied that because of the color of their skin. That's what it basically boiled down to. However, I'm glad that they're not people who quit. And they continue to fight, and of course they have what they have on today. They have their own high school. But with the high school is actually the only high school within that region where the river, along the Santo Domingo River, and so people commute from Cologne and other neighboring communities to Santo Domingo de Once in order for the students to have access to a high school. Prior to that, high school was actually done online, but of course if there's no internet, how can you do high school online? See where I'm going with this? And so the country of Ecuador, they do actually allow their students to attend university for free, but there's a catch. So you guys know when I did my Instagram, I was all hype about, yes, education for free. I'm loving it. Be having great access to the universities. I had an opportunity to actually visit and see some of the universities and colleges that they actually have out there, and it was amazing. And I was just like, all hype about it. But there's a catch. There's always a catch. And so what I found out from the principal, who I actually had the opportunity to work one-on-one with, Patricia, she was a sweetheart. What we found out is that there's actually a test that the students have to take at the end of high school. And wherever the student score according to that examination, that is the major the student was placed into. In other words, say for instance, it was your desire, you wanted to go to school to become an engineer. But after you take this test, you fall in the category where it may have been hospitality. You have to go to school to become a chef or maybe a restaurant concierge or whatever it may be. That's what you were going to go to university and study if you decide to go to the state university for free. Of course, you have other options. You can go to private university, but again, the cost. Just like it costs here in the United States, it costs there as well. And many of the individuals within the community that I had the opportunity to work in, unless it was scholarship, they could not afford it. Even with the state paying for the education, you have to still pay to live in the city of Guayaquil. So if the students from Santo Domingo de Onsele had the opportunity to go to the state university, they still had to come up with money to live, to eat, and different things like that. So you still, over the course of 4 years, even if tuition was free, it would still cost them about $15,000 to about $20,000 for those 4 years to live, to actually live, to have an apartment, to eat, and to have the basic necessities. And of course, with the budget and the way that the community is set up as far as being farmers and different things like that, there's not a substantial amount of income in order to pay for a child to attend university. So it's a hard thing. It's a catch-22. You know, you have the free university, you have the opportunity to go, but then if you don't score a certain number on the assessment, you can't major in the major that you want to major in, right? So I'm going for free, but I'm going to major in something that I have no earthly interest in, I have no passion for, I have no love for, but it's free. On the same token, you still also have to pay to live, pay to eat, and all these different things. Whereas if I go private, I'm going to be doing about the same thing. I'm going to have to pay for tuition. Of course, it's going to cost more than that $15,000 to $20,000 versus going to state school, where for the living expensive. But now I have tuition, different things but I can pursue my dreams. I can pursue my passion, but it's still going to cost. And it's heartbreaking to really think about it. I met this one young man, phenomenal young man, fell in love with science, said he declared he said, I'm going to be a scientist. And my heart right now is to truly see that come to pass in his life. You know, he's had many ups and downs. He's had some heartbreaks with some issues with a soccer team he tried out for. He did not make it, so he had to return back to the village. And of course, that was heartbreaking for him. Not going the distance that he thought he would have gone. Phenomenal soccer player, phenomenal young man, very well spoken young man, sweet as can possibly be, you know, very intelligent, and has desires to go to school. He wants to be a scientist, and God knows I want him to do it, because if you all had seen what I saw and understand his passion and his heart for education, he wants to be successful. He wants to assist his family and help his family have a better future. He wants to see his little brother and his younger sister, you know, have an opportunity as well to go to the university. But the money, you know, he doesn't have the money to actually go there. Again, though tuition is free, he still needs about $15,000 to $20,000 to live, because from the university to their actual community, we had a 10-hour bus ride, a 2-hour canoe ride, so that's 12. Oh no, I'm sorry, and I also forgot about the almost 2-hour van ride that we had to take just to get to the canoe. So you're talking about 14 hours. So there's no way he can commute. Like, that's like totally absurd, you know, to say that he can commute to school. But he will have to live in Guayaquil in order to pursue his dreams, to go to university, to be able to obtain his degree and become that scientist. And so I definitely challenge you guys in the next, you know, upcoming 2 months or so. Carlos, who I mentioned before, he is actually the project lead for the Anzale project, and so he will be traveling to do some public speaking, and will also be petitioning and fundraising for the community. So again, I will definitely be reaching out to everyone, because I truly want to see this young man succeed. God knows if I could write him a check, I really would. And I know there's some people out there who can. And if that's you, please, by all means, call me, write me, email me. I will leave my contact information at the bottom. You can find me, because I want to make sure that this young man fulfill his dream, his purpose. So thank you guys. Please ignore my dog is barking. But I love you all, and I'll see you guys next week.